Hey there, Capricorn. Welcome to your reading for this is your June bonus reading. We are going to jump right in here. You have this daydream card. It says, having your head in the clouds can be a source of great inspiration, but be careful when your fantasies become an escape from reality. You have this walk away card. It says, what you're doing now isn't working for you, but are you willing to walk away to make room for something better? Like all your readings, Capricorn, have been basically saying that it's time to make your life better, or it's time for you to find something better in your life. And I really think you could be doing that just in general. So I would take advantage of the energy, and I would make sure that you do make your life better, that you do create some improvements here. For sure. You start with the Ten of Wands, and the Ten of Wands can be about making your life hard. And the Ten of Wands, personally, I don't think the Ten of Wands is a bad card. But what I will say about the Ten of Wands is that he is making his life harder than it needs to be, maybe. He's carrying these 10. The reason I think the 10 of Wands is kind of a good card is because he planted those wands, and he is about to reach his home in the background here. So he is about to have a harvest. And so there could be a harvest coming in for you. But at the same time, sometimes maybe along the way, he has picked up some burdens that don't belong to him. And he needs to look at those burdens, and he needs to say to himself, do these belong to me? Are these actually my burdens to carry, or do these belong to someone or something else, right? And I can't answer that question for you. You have to look at the things that are slowing you down, the things that are preventing you from getting the things that you want, the belief systems, the people, the places, the things. And you have to decide like what to release and what not to release. And, like I said, it's going to be different for all of you. But I do think that this reading could be saying that, it's time to walk away because there's something better, as that first card says, that's coming in for you. But you have to kind of allow it with this Ten of Wands. I do feel there could be a harvest coming in for some of you as well. So there literally could be, like, if you have been working hard on a business or career or whatever, there could be more money coming in as well. Your crossing energy is the Eight of Swords. The crossing energy can be what hurts you or helps you. I kind of feel both in your reading here, Capricorn. The Eight of Swords is a card that says, you are in self-imposed prison and you need to set yourself free. Kind of like the positive side of the Eight of Swords is that it basically says you're only seeing one way of doing things when there are many. And so you just need to open up to all the different ways there are of, doing things in your life. You need to open up to other solutions, which I think would be very helpful. I also feel that you need to trust your intuition more. She has this blindfold on, and her problems could be solved very easily, but she's not trusting what her inner voice is telling her. She's not listening to the directions that her inner voice is giving her as well. So I really feel that some of you kind of need to set yourself free with that Eight of Swords energy. Next, in the area of what's on your mind, you have the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is like thinking that something won't work out for you when it probably will. I think that it's super interesting that we go from the Four of Cups, Five of Cups down to the Ace of Cups. It's like there's clearly something that you are wanting that could cause your emotions to overflow with that Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups doesn't have to be love. It could be anything that causes you to overflow. But the Four of Cups in the area of your thoughts says that you don't think you can have it. Or you've been disappointed too many times. You always get this card with me, Capricorn, and I'm always saying that I definitely think it's true that Capricorn has had too many disappointments. And sometimes when we are disappointed too many times, we just think that what we want is just impossible. But he needs to realize that he has learned what to do here with these three cups right here. He just needs to apply these three cups to this one cup, and whatever he's dreaming about or thinking about will be successful. He just has to apply the lessons. He has this card always tells me that you have all the ingredients necessary for success. You just have to mix them together and pop them in the oven, and you will be successful. Next, in your foundation, you have the Ten of Swords. Yeah, I think Capricorn is in a great time of change, for sure. And again, you have this card that says, willing to walk away to make room for something better. I think you are, this whole entire reading is very simple. I think it's just saying you are making room for something better. So if you are releasing anything or letting go of anything, the Ten of Swords says, the past is dead, done, over with. he's making this symbol right here with his hands that kind of represents a blessing in disguise. And he needs to release the past and let go so he can move forward. And so I think a lot of you could be kind of either releasing the past or letting go of the past so that you can move forward in your life. And of course, that would be a good thing. The Ten of Swords says that something is dead, done, over with. And, he just needs to realize that he is dead and that his next step is just a transformation. He just needs to transform past his situation and he will be successful. Next, in the past position, this is the energy of what you are moving past. You have this fiery beginnings card. It says, you're on the brink of a real breakthrough. Follow your heart and live your passion. Ace of Cups, Queen of Cups, right? The Queen of Cups is coming up in the area of your closest relationships. I think the Queen of Cups is saying you need to have a better relationship with your own heart, like what your heart is telling you to do. This card basically says the same thing. Your heart is telling you to do things at this time. You need to go and do those things, even if they seem impossible. You have the Scales of Balance card. It says, find the balance within yourself and things will balance out around you. Yes. The good news is like these aren't bad cards, these two, but I kind of feel like it's good that they're showing up in the past because it's kind of saying to me, to you, that you are taking the right actions to move forward. So I feel pretty good about that. You have the Five of Swords also in the past. So if there have been any difficult situations that you've walked away from or any challenges that you've been asked to walk away from, I feel a lot of you could be just like healing from those things that you've walked away from. And you could just be kind of like moving in new directions. I don't really feel much here on this Five of Swords. I do feel like I do feel like some of you could be taking some risks as well. So sometimes I think the Five of Swords is encouraging us to take some sort of risk towards something in life. And so if you're taking any risks, I do think this could be good. Next, in the area of your very near future, you have this intuition card and this reflect card. Yes, I think you need to listen to your intuition. The whole entire reading says that your intuition is clearly trying to guide you in life towards everything, probably everything you want, Capricorn. I mean, I literally feel it is time for Capricorn to experience everything they want and desire, but it's like you have to listen to that intuition. I think that some of you could be reflecting on things that have happened in your past. Again, we're looking at the area of your very near future in this part of the reading, but the Five of Cups, he's grieving the loss of these 3 cups. Those 3 cups represent something that he has lost his taste for, that he doesn't enjoy anymore. But if he turned around, he would see these 2 cups and he would get this bridge and this castle. So I think a lot of you need to realize that there's like something much better coming in for you. And, I think you need to realize that there's something much better coming into your life here. And, you need to basically turn around and see that there's something better coming in for you. And, that's really all I get there. Next, in the area of your outcome, you have this electric eel spirit, says bring your ideas to life. You have this giraffe spirit, says see the big picture. So yes, I think that you need to see the big picture at this time. I definitely feel you need to, you could have a lot of ideas that you need to kind of bring to life here with that electric eel spirit. And I would be trusting like your intuition and all that other stuff. It's an amazing time for seeing the big picture as well and zooming out. Kind of gives me star vibes. Sometimes I think we can want to accomplish something and it just seems impossible. But if we zoom out on our life and we look at everything that we have accomplished up until this point, it makes those things that seem hard much more possible because we can see all the hard things that we've done. And if we're about to do something challenging, we can say, well, actually, I've done something much harder before. And so if I was able to do that, I can totally do this. And, I kind of feel like you need that kind of confidence right now, Capricorn, or, it's like developing that confidence could be very helpful for you. Next, in the area of the next few months, you have the Ace of Cups. So very good. Definitely could be just more love energy in general entering into your life. So, the Ace of Cups is your emotions overflowing. It is a very good summer. Jupiter is moving into your opposite sign, Cancer. Jupiter loves being in Cancer. So, I would say that this is going to be a very good summer for you. And I think there could be a lot of, happy just happiness and happy times coming in for you in general. And so I would take advantage of that happy energy. Again, I always tell people, it's like, when things are going well, we should be doubling down on that energy and amplifying it and, practicing gratitude and things like that so that we can get more out of it. And, I'm a big fan of doing this. Trust me, as a person, like my life sucked for like 5 years of my life. I was stuck in my room, and I always tell a story, and I was miserable and things were awful and all this other stuff. And doing all those things are what got me out of it and have prevented it from ever happening again. So, again, I'm a big fan of practicing gratitude, doubling down on the good stuff and expanding that energy. And so, that's what I would do here. Next, in the area of your closest relationships, this is all relationships in your life. You have the Queen of Cups. Part of me, like I said, feels that this is about your connection to your heart. So a lot of you might be either tapping into your heart, more, like heart-based energy more, like doing more of the things that you love to do, or focusing more on doing the things that you love to do in general with the Ace of Cups. The other thing is that I do feel like some of you could be attracting love this summer. It is a very good summer for love. So, for those of you that want it, I would just get out in public and meet new people. That would be good for you. But, I do feel like this could be more about like your relationship to your own heart and, how you bring more heart-based energy into your life. You have the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands is the Wounded Warrior. The Nine of Wands also says, like, don't give up. So this is coming up in the area of your future feelings. A lot of you could feel like the Wounded Warrior in the future, but at the same time, it's like you're not giving up, which is very Capricorn energy to embrace. Capricorn is a sign of perseverance and not giving up and climbing mountains. Nine of Wands is also an amazing card for experimentation. It's my card of throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. So I think a lot of you, it is a really good time to be experimenting, trying new things, stepping into new energies. All that other good stuff would be good as well. Your outcome is the Five of Pentacles. I feel like you need to stop calling attention to your weaknesses. We're going to clarify. We'll see what comes up. I don't really feel bad about this, but I also don't feel good about it as your outcome here, Capricorn. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This is just the bonus reading. Again, your monthly reading was really good. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. But these bonus readings are meant to like focus on kind of like one thing. And I think what this reading is saying, like the one focus of this reading is that there's something better that could be coming in for you in your life. But you have to believe it. The whole point of the Five of Pentacles is that those people don't believe that they deserve anything other than what they're getting. And that's why the card says, do not call attention to your weaknesses, because they have to believe that their situation should be better. And, if they do that, then their situation will get better. But if they don't, then it won't. And so, there could be like something, it's kind of like saying to me that there's something that you could have right now here, Capricorn, in your life, like something that you want. There's this anchor right here in this window. And so it's like saying something is keeping you stuck, and it could be like your mindset, right? With the Ten of Swords and the Ten of Wands, you have the Two of Swords. Yeah, the whole entire reading says there's like other ways of doing things. Basically, Ten of Wands can be stuck doing things the old way, in work or business or career. And, the Ten of Wands sometimes says you're doing things the hard way, and there could be an easier way for you to work or, create your business or, whatever you're doing, doesn't really matter. And, I think this is kind of like encouraging you to like do things in a better way in your life. She just needs to realize all she has to do is turn around and she will see this island, and, that island kind of represents a third place solution. The other thing I would say is like, where are you trying to protect your heart? I don't think this is saying you shouldn't protect yourself, but, she has those swords crossed over her heart, and she's being too emotionally closed off. And, again, we have Jupiter moving into your opposite sign, Cancer. You have to be more open and vulnerable with Jupiter going into Cancer. That doesn't mean you shouldn't protect yourself, but it does mean that you can't be a porcupine, right? You have to be open to, whatever it is that you want, love, money, spirituality, business, whatever. And you can't protecting yourself too much sometimes is exactly what pushes things away, right? And with the Four of Cups, you have the Five of Cups. I think this is just saying that these two are connected right here. I feel that it's like you see something you want. He's being offered something. We go down to the Ace of Cups, but he's not accepting it because he's afraid of being disappointed. Five of Cups, kind of says the same thing. He is disappointed. He's had enough of whatever these three cups are. and he just thinks that he's going to be disappointed again. But I think that there could be something new coming in for you that you have been disappointed with in the past. It could be love. Some of you could be, it's like you could see something you want in love, but you could also be afraid of getting hurt. But, I think this says you need to open up. With the Ten of Swords, you have the Hermit. You've been through the hard part. I think I said this to you in your last reading, or maybe in the reading that I did that was for the next 6 months, that you need to realize that you've been through the hard part. I think that's what Capricorn needs to realize. And I know I've said this to you in the past. It's like you're still living as if you're going through everything you've been going through, which is, kind of true. But at the same time, I think these readings have been basically saying that you need to kind of realize that you've learned the lessons, you've gained the strength. He has found his inner light. And now he needs to go shine that inner light all over the place. He's standing at the top of this mountain, and he's been through a dark night of the soul. But I think that the Hermit needs to come down from the mountain. I always say that. I think it's very tempting for him to stay in isolation, because when you're in isolation, you're kind of protected from the cruel, mean, cold world, right? But really, he has learned how to navigate the coldness, and he needs to prove it now by getting into the world. With the Five of Swords, you have the Ace of Pentacles. It's coming up in the past, but there could be an opportunity. You have two aces in this reading, and here and here so far, and so there could be a really big opportunity coming in for you. And if you're getting any opportunities at all, I would be, I kind of feel like there could be an opportunity that deserves a second look, or, it's like there could be an opportunity for something better with that walk away card. With the Five of Cups, what do you know? You have the Two of Cups. Yes, I think this is the fear of love. I knew that with the Two of Swords as well. So Two of Cups is a perfect match. It is like you and your higher self as well. The Two of Cups, I frequently say, can be a card of communicating with you and your higher self. But this could also be a person who's very different. These two people are meant to look very different. And so if you're attracting love, you could be attracting a very different type of person. So I would go for it. I wouldn't be afraid of it. This could also just be your higher self is guiding you towards your love, but not like a person. It could be for sure. But I'm saying if you don't want love, this could be your higher self guiding you towards something that you will love. Like whatever the Ace of Cups is, a job that fulfills you, a career that fulfills you, or whatever you're looking for. With the Ace of Cups, you show up. The Queen of Pentacles, I literally feel this is just saying that you are following your heart. The Queen of Pentacles is you showing up in a strong position. I do like this card. The Queen of Pentacles is a card of multiplication. And we were talking about earlier how you should be practicing gratitude for the things that are working, and you should be attracting positive energy for the things that are going the right way and all that other stuff. And that's really what I would do with the Queen of Pentacles is practice gratitude, practice positive vibes, positive energy. I think that will lead to the biggest and best changes for you in your life in general. And I think multiplication, doubling down on things, is really important as well. With the Queen of Cups, you have the Seven of Swords. Most people read Seven of Swords as lying, cheating, stealing, but, that's not totally true. The Seven of Swords is a golden card, and golden cards are meant to be positive no matter what. Seven of Swords represents the fact that he is sneaking away from this army with their swords so that he can avoid battle. Seven of Swords reminds us that there are better ways to do everything that we're doing. Literally your whole entire reading, that walk away card, walk away to make room for something better. That is what this reading is about. This reading is saying that maybe you've been doing things the hard way in some area of your life, and now you're starting to do things the smart way. And by doing things the smart way, you're making your life better. That's what this reading wants you to do. There's no reason to overcomplicate it. With the Nine of Wands, here you go. Ten of Cups, fortune after difficulty, happy home, happy family, good things happening after a difficult period of time. I think you need to take another swing at something here, Capricorn. It's almost like the Nine of Wands, the Hermit, this card is kind of saying that you need to try something again. And this could be anything. It could be like starting a business again, starting a relationship again, getting in, trying something again. I think that doing that will lead to fortune after difficulty, or, just good vibes all the way around. The Ten of Cups also wants us to put ourselves in good vibes, wants us to do things that make us feel good. So I think anything that you can do to put yourself in a positive situation, or to put yourself in a situation where you experience good vibes, would be a really good idea with that card. With the Five of Pentacles, you have the Page of Cups. Really, I mean, this could be love coming in for you, and you could be afraid that this person is going to hurt you, but I don't think that's true here, Capricorn. So I think that you need to get out of your head as far as love is concerned, because, again, there could be like a really good person coming in here, but the Five of Pentacles could say that you're worried that things aren't going to work, or that, things won't go in your favor, but they probably will. This could also be two people who have both been left out in the cold, so you could be attracting a person who's been through something very similar to you. Next, you have this Ant card. It says work, achievement, success. I mean, Capricorn's middle name is achievement, so I don't know. You could be achieving a lot. I think you've had ants with me before, and, ants can lift many times their body weight. And, I think one thing that Capricorn should be doing is looking at the activities or the things that you do where you get more of a result, And so, obviously we all have certain skills, or we all have certain things that we're good at. And I would be doing more of the things that you're good at in life, because those activities, those things, are probably going to lead to more success. You have this Unicorn card. It says use your intuition to make beneficial changes. Yeah, I think there could be a lot of beneficial changes coming in for you here, Capricorn, in your life. And, the whole reading kind of says you need to trust your intuition. Eight of Swords, Two of Swords, they both have the blindfold on. Both cards, the whole point is that they're not listening to their intuition. They're stuck because they're not listening to their inner voice. And so I think it's definitely time to listen to your dreams, your daydreams, everything. You have this Bat card. It says, take care, enemies working against you. I don't really think, I think that this is just needing to ignore the haters, more or less. It is time for you to shine, Capricorn. I've been saying this to you for over a year. Your readings have been saying this. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. This is something you're working towards. The more you shine, the more you glow, the more people are going to have something to say about it. So, I would just say ignore it, and it's free attention. So it's a good thing. You have this Rose card. It says romance is in the air. Yes, I think you're worried about romance. If you want love, then there's clearly a person here that either you're already interested in or that you will be interested in. And I feel like I feel like you're making this way harder than it needs to be, is what I would say. It's popping into my head as something that could be very easy, that you are making very complicated. Very Capricorn energy. Trust me, I get it. I have a crap ton of Capricorn in my chart too, so I get it. But, I don't know. It could be a lot easier. You have this career card, so yes, I definitely feel a lot of you are focusing on work or career. I do think it's an amazing time for you, so, especially with having Jupiter in your opposite house, in your opposite sign, Cancer, I think that will be really good for like your daily routine and work and habits and things like that. So yeah, looks really, really good to me, Capricorn. I like this. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your month.